What happens in Vegas is happening right here. People, equipment, ideas, and inspiration. Welcome to the 2013 NAB Show Live, coming to you from the Studio Experience, sponsored by Intel. Hey there, I am your host, Rich DeMuro, and what a great week it has been so far here in Las Vegas. Today we heard from executives from Verizon, AOL, NBC, BitTorrent, and many more. Even my very favorite financial guru, Dave Ramsey, is in town. Earlier today, he was inducted into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, but I have to say, sorry, Dave, I love your advice, but it could not keep me away from those craps tables last night. I should have listened to you because that is money I will never see again. Talk about black magic. All right, here are some highlights from today's NAB Show.
So now think about if you had the ability during, let's just use the NCAA tournament, to vote via Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and say in our town we'd like to watch this particular game, and we work out the rights issues with the local broadcast people, and the people had the ability to go in and watch that while they were out running around. I think that would actually make people more interested in what's being broadcast than a trade-off. So, you know, who knows? It's a new technology. I think we ought to play with it together, see what shakes out. I think there's opportunity to grow the pie.
This brings us to one of the economic tensions between broadband and broadcast, and that's obviously the issue of cost.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, and I think represent very accurately, broadcasters are very anxious for Verizon and cable and satellite to succeed, because while we are still predominantly an advertising-based business model, retransmission consent is an increasing source of revenue in order to keep producing the kind of content that keeps attracting viewers.
Yeah. Well, it's a huge honor for our team. They've worked really, really hard for a long time. You work your tail end off for 20 years, you're an overnight success. So it's a wonderful thing. In our case, I love doing the daily radio show. After so many years, it's become the rhythm of my life to sit down and have that 3 hours in the afternoon that I sit there and do that. And what we enjoy is just connecting to the listeners, the intimacy of talk radio in particular, because you're using only one of your senses, just your ears, and so you have to listen and for the pauses and she just lied, and that kind of thing. So your life unfolds on talk radio, and so it is the most intimate of mediums. It's the village meeting, the chance to sit down with dear Abby, and it's a way to connect that you really can't do in any other medium.
Yeah, I think second screen, the way it should be defined is a second screen is not the main screen that you're watching a show or a movie at the time, and it helps you give you additional information and supports the viewing experience.
When you create that second screen app, first of all, absolutely, people are going to use Facebook, they're going to use Twitter, they're going to use what they want. So if you're going to create that second screen app, you need to give them more functionality than just, I'm going to allow you to put something on Facebook or Twitter. It's like actually have a conversation with other people at that time who are interested in that show.
I think people increasingly come together in community around shared interest, shared circumstance, shared location. They want to be able to find facts and friends, both, that are relevant to them in the moment, wherever they are.
We're a very unique team. We're probably the only NFL team that has no cheerleaders, no mascots, no band. Everything we do goes on those boards. We have, there's a lot of reasons for the last three, but we won't go into them here. However, we use the technology, and also it provides us an opportunity to immerse with our partners, our marketing partners, our sponsors, to create some new advertising and some new integrated technology that helps them get involved in the games.
One of the things that all of us are trained by is Disney, and Disney forever, more than I know of, has basically captured people in the parking lot. And so one of the goals over and over from teams is to actually capture people out of the parking lot and bring them into the building. And
one of the things, we are a Cisco connected stadium. I talked a little bit about the the Stadium Vision solution. We have the high density Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. There's no passwords. the idea is we want everyone to be connected. So we came up with the Barclays Center app. You can order your food from it while you're sitting in your seat. And one of the major advantages, you can actually stream different feeds from the game. So we worked with Cisco to come up with the Stadium Vision Mobile. So someone, once they're on the Wi-Fi inside the building, they can click up to 4 feeds.
Wow, can you believe all of that happened in just one day here at NAB? How many of those sessions did you make it to? I hope a lot. All right, now Verizon, of course, making headlines at this year's NAB. The CEO, Lowell McAdams, said that wireless and broadcasters can coexist in a peaceful place. Paul Stram here from Verizon to talk to us more about what your CEO said today. Verizon and video. You guys are here, a wireless company at NAB. What are some of the exciting things you're showing off?
Well, we're super proud to be here at NAB, and we've been here for quite a while. And this year, we're showcasing all of our powerful answer solutions. So, yeah, we invite everybody to come up and visit our booth, and we'll be happy to tour you around. But just to give you a sampling of some of the things that we're doing today, currently in the marketplace, we do have mobile reporter solutions, and we're actually showing several of those today. I know Lowell had one on stage that we were showcasing, and we have several examples that we can help the broadcasting and media industry with.
That's been quite a change. I mean, I'm a reporter, and we use that to go live many times. These backpack systems, these DeGero systems, they all use these bonded cellular networks. If you don't have a signal, you can't get a live shot, but that pretty much never happens anymore.
We are. With the Verizon LTE network, it's fantastic. So you're getting great throughput, getting great video content that's broadcast quality, 720p, beginning to go live to air. We're showcasing many solutions. We have a Teradek solution, we have a Vislink solution, we have Comrex, and we have a JVC camera that's connected with a wireless modem. So that's all something that's great, but we also are featuring Network Fleet, and Network Fleet is part of the Hughes acquisition that we acquired recently. And this is a AVL tracking of the fleet. So when we have a mock-up of a news van up at our booth, you could actually see that you could deploy that news van, and then when they get to the scene, you can see the solutions actually what they would use to transmit that video back. We're showcasing a couple other things too, which is pretty neat. Open video collaboration. That enables an open video client to be held on any kind of a device, anywhere, hence the name open. But it enables maybe like the mobile news van to create an open video like a show like this. And you could go ahead and create that instant video chat back and forth on your iPad, on your device, and you could chat back to the producers in the field to make sure that you've got information and content correctly.
And that communication back and forth is essential, especially when we're in the business of communicating.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about these innovation centers. You have 2 of them, and I imagine that the impact on broadcasters, you're always sort of thinking of how you can work with them and how you can make our lives easier.
Yeah, so some of the mobile reporter solutions that we just recently talked about are through the Innovation Center. So this is a incubation center where we bring in new solutions and partners, and we test them out to make sure that they're going to work on the Verizon network the correct way. And that's real important for us. The network is everything, and so that's big for us to make sure that they work well. We're not only thinking about solutions that could be worked on today, we're thinking forefront, we're thinking visionary. So what solutions of the future, and how can we use the LTE network to help broadcast and media companies do their job better? And as you well know, the first to deliver the news is the one who wins. So that's kind of the goal of that. Innovation Center also helps in other areas, healthcare, and we have a lot of mobile applications that are working on the healthcare side of it. Connected home is another issue, and that's something that we're working on too. Only maybe on the utility side, but also for the media side, if you ever have that content connected inside the home and view it off a central screen.
Now, in a way, it used to be kind of easier because everyone had a television. It was the same format, same set. You just delivered that content to the same device. Nowadays, you can be watching things on a wide variety of devices, and customers want to be able to watch a show like this, whether they're on an Android phone, an iPhone, an iPad, or a new tablet. How do you guys deal with all that?
We're doing it, so it's awesome. We're showcasing our VDMS platform, and what we're doing today are services that are over the top. So our over the top solutions actually are kind of TV everywhere applications that we're showing. So our Fios TV customers can view that on your iPad. We have the Redbox solution that we can do subscription-based video on demand. And then coming future, we're going to have a platform service that will enable distribution and content of services there. So very much embracing it. I say for Verizon, we're running to the show and saying, hey, we're here. Let's go. What can we do?
What can we do for you?
That's it.
Paul Schramm, manager of Verizon Enterprise Solutions. Thanks so much for joining us up here. Have you been
got it.
enjoying the show?
I've been enjoying the show tremendously. Come up and see us at the booth. We'd love to tour you around.
10 years of the show, you said, right?
Rocking on.
Wow. Okay, thanks for joining us up
You
here
got it.
at NAB Show Live. Now, all week long, we have been bringing you stories about the evolution of NAB. Now we're going to go live to our field correspondent, Stacy Cohan, with today's story.
Hey, Rich, lucky me, I get to be out here on the floor, live on the floor of the NAB Show. Why? Well, it's the place to be, of course. But that's not all. Tonight on Evolution, we're talking about the community. All of these people who helped make the NAB Show what it is today.
The NAB Show is not just a marketplace for buying equipment, but it's also a marketplace for ideas, for innovation, for sharing of new technologies, new strategies, and it's also an amazing networking opportunity.
The show between 93 and about 97, 98 grew about 5 times in terms of attendance. So the attendance by 97 gets up to over 100,000 people for the first time.
At NAB Show, it is a total integration of companies meeting other companies, of customers and students and teachers and cinematographers and broadcast people, all getting together in this world that we live in that's now completely integrated.
There's a lot more people around, a lot more buzz going on, a lot more excitement, it seems like, than in the old days. It used to be, well, people would go to the show and then just walk around and sort of see things and meet with people and so forth, but now there's just so much excitement.
You have a good time, but you get to see people that you haven't seen for a year or more. You get the opportunity to expand your horizons by seeing the new technology and how it's integrated into the current technology and how it leads the way. And so the NAB Show has just really become one of a kind, and it attracts worldwide attention.
The NAB Show has really become an international destination for anyone interested in broadcasting specifically, but technology generally.
We have many different communities. The advantage of this show is that here the communities have the chance to meet, and they do, and they have to do, because it is a question of survival. If you want to survive in one community, you have to do interchange with the others.
Literally, people from across the country and across the globe are there, and if you have an opportunity to sit down or talk with them and share ideas, that's an added benefit to the other great sessions, great equipment. All of that together makes for an outstanding event.
You know, from Japan, Germany, England, no matter where, they're from all over the world, and you can meet them here. And they come here, I think, for only one reason, because whether the BBC and others like it or not, the United States sets the bar for television news and television entertainment. And we're happy to be a part of that.
It is a wonderful thing that now our attendance is almost 30% from abroad. And that's something we have been very anxious to grow, which is why several times every year I travel abroad to try and promote the NAB Show, because it is so important to us, and we think to the attendees as well.
So now we've told you all about the community you can expect to find here at the NAB Show. Now let's hit the floor and actually meet some of them. Where are you guys here from?
Germany.
Egypt.
We're from London.
I'm from India.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Montgomery, Alabama.
Chicago.
From Chicago. I'm from Los Angeles.
Hawaii. You came out here from Hawaii. So what made you come out here today?
Equipment.
Checking out new cameras and stuff coming out.
Looking at some products, taking some workshops.
I'm out here to see anything and everything new, from cameras to software.
I want to see the new technology, and there's always a lot of new ideas.
Well, I just came out here to learn more about what's going on with digital media services going forward.
It's a great place to learn.
There's so much to learn.
A lot more than just television here at the NAB. It's people from all over the world and a lot of industries.
It's the people that you meet.
It's really about the people for me.
Every industry is built around relationships, and so this is a great place to just reconnect with people that you've known for many years.
Tell me, what is it that makes you keep returning to the NAB Show?
Well, one thing about it, it's really the whole universe of radio and television that kind of shows up here and showcases the technology that's so very important today.
Yes, this is the most important exhibition all over the world.
As you can see, I made a lot of new friends out here. It's been a lot of fun. And you know, it's not only friends that you come out here for, right? It's to go shopping and find some neat things. But tomorrow, I will tell you what you can find out here that you might not expect. There's a little tease ahead for you, Rich.
Oh man, you make me want to know what you're going to have tomorrow. Now, Stacy, I know you also started the week out in a pair of high heels, and I believe you're down to flip-flops at this point because you do a lot of walking here at NAB Show. And in fact, today I had a good amount of time to walk around and check out the show floor. No matter what your job is in the broadcast or entertainment industry, there is something here for you. Before NAB Show, I never really appreciated the beauty of patch panels or copper antennas, but now I just want them all. Then there's also the models, living, breathing people just lingering around a set so you can see how colors pop on the latest 4K cameras. I also had a chance to meet up with the folks from Maxon, Deluxe, and many more to bring you trending tech from the show floor.
We at Maxon have always done a great job of trying to make sure that Cinema 4D, our animation product, works well with the Adobe suite of products. And now we've integrated our Cinema 4D file directly into After Effects, so an artist can be working on both the Cinema 4D file and their After Effects project file. And when they go to render, they can render directly out of After Effects, including using our Cinema 4D 3D renderers. We also at Maxon bring a great lineup of artists to come out and inspire and educate. Maxon's booth is in the South Lower Hall, 5316. We're just a little ways away from Adobe. And if people are not at the show, they can watch the presentations online at c4dlive.com, and they can visit us at maxon.net.
Hi there, I'm Bryce Budden, Product Marketing Manager with HAA, and of course we have new products to talk about. This is the KeyPro Quad, and the KeyPro Quad was designed to work with 4K cameras and to create ProRes files that you can then get on these little SSD sticks. If you do need to work with RAW, then on the back there's a little Thunderbolt port, and that's actually where the raw data can go through, and that basically takes the raw files and allows you to record it to your workstation, etc. So another new tool that we produced is the Hi-Fi 4K. It has 4 3G SDIs in, and then just a small HDMI output, which means you can now plug into consumer, prosumer 4K monitors. This one we call the ROY. If you effectively have DVI in, you could come off HDMI to a DVI cable, and then on the other side you're coming DVI out as well as SDI out.
So at NAB Show this year, we've heard a lot around 4K, 8K, and even higher resolutions in the industry. And Grid is our platform for bringing GPUs into the data center, all with a very low latency. It's almost like you're working on the machine right under your desk, but all the data's in the data center, giving you the nice benefits of data center security and everything else. If people want to come learn more about NVIDIA, stop by our booth, SL3905.
When you look at Deluxe, really over the last 6 or 7 years, we've transitioned. Our revenue base is 90% film-based to where it's about 95% digital-based and post-production based. We have Media Cloud, which is an IP-based broadcast playout software platform. We also have our D3, which is our library management platform for the cable companies and retailers around the world. We also are introducing a strategic alliance with Hogarth Worldwide, where we're forming a content and distribution platform for the advertising industry.
All right, there it was at the Deluxe booth. Now we're going to bring on stage Stephen Weinstein, CTO of Deluxe Entertainment. Thanks so much for being up here today.
Thanks for inviting me.
So now, you guys have obviously been at NAB Show before, but this is your first time having a booth here.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I guess over the years, you know, a lot of us know Deluxe is that film company, Color by Deluxe at the end of every film. And, you know, for years we just, you know, serviced the film and TV industry. But over the last, 6 years, as Cyril just said, you know, the company's evolved. We're touching, new creators, people creating from, on their laptops and all the way to new distribution. And we realize there are a ton of people who don't actually know what we do. So here at the show, we decided, we have so many people who don't really know how far in breadth our company is.
Yeah, they know the name. They've seen it at the end of all these movies. And now you're here to say, hey, by the way, we do a lot of other stuff too. What are you telling these people that you do nowadays?
Well, we have distribution is one of the big things we're showing at the show. We have this on-demand product where we origin out 40,000 titles out to SVOD, TVOD, around the world to various cable companies, over-the-top companies. You know, we power Barnes & Noble. We power, their Nook, which is a new place we did, Stars, over-the-top, TV everywhere. We have another product called Media Cloud, which is cloud playout for a TV station. You know, you used to get racks of equipment, what you see on these floors everywhere. Now you instance it up on a private cloud and you can have your own broadcast linear channel within hours, literally hours. We put up 6 channels in, I think, like 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
Okay, and then another product we're doing, we're really big in archive and storage and metadata. And we process 10 to 20,000 hours of archive material. We metadata it up, so that you learn, so you can clip it and present it in any way, sell it, resell it to consumers and professionals. And lastly, we're showing here, is our partnership with Hogarth, which is the Zanza platform for delivering ads across the ecosystem for spots.
Now, when you think about how much video content you guys are dealing with on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, does it kind of blow your mind?
It does. I mean, we have over 100 petabytes. Okay, so if you think of a DVD as being a couple of gigs, gig, tera, petabytes. I mean, it's an unbelievable amount of data. I mean, it takes weeks just to move it around, and we have these 100 gig channels just to move data around. We do a lot of content creation with Company 3 and Beast. We do 2D to 3D conversions with Stereo D, where they're doing 500 terabytes a day of data of processing. I mean, it's a mind-numbing. I mean, these are words who knew those 5 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about tablets and smartphones. People expect to have their content on all these devices, not just one device. Are content providers sort of limited if they think one device?
Well, no. I mean, now when it used to be when you shot a film, you thought about when you're going to pan and scan it down to 4:3 aspect ratio. You do have to think a little bit more about, what size are people going to watch it on. But the nice thing about it is, 10 years ago, you never thought you'd be watching any movie you ever wanted on, climbing the mountains of, Lake Tahoe or something like that. So, I mean, where it's a little more challenging, both for a company like us, besides making, 40 or 50 language versions of something, we now have to do 150 encodes, for everything from Android to PlayStation to, iPhone. I mean, it's kind of an amazing amount of data.
Yeah, how has Deluxe sort of evolved over the years? I mean, tell us kind of where you started and now where you are.
Well, Deluxe started over 100 years ago, which is just basically in the film industry. And, basically on set, taking, the film out of the camera, running it down into the processing lab, and divvying it up and making the dailies that you've seen in all the old movies. Now you look at us today, we take in, a couple of hundred, terabytes a day, putting it in from on-set dailies all the way to making, 100,000 people would be able to watch Stars, on TV on demand. So, I mean, it's really, the evolution is unbelievable. I mean, from content creation, distribution, management, all the way out to marketing materials.
Do you think that the digital revolution has made things better or just more complicated? It seems like it's better for the consumer. Like you said, I have video on demand for everything I want.
Right. I mean, let's face it, the consumer's a much happier camper. I mean, they're getting stuff all the time they want. Obviously, behind the covers, look at all this equipment here. I mean, even just for this broadcast, I mean, you're broadcasting it live on demand here. It's unbelievably complicated. I mean, we do, I think on some certain pieces of assets, over 200 different variants. Right, so one, that's an amazing number. And then when you add in subtitling and closed captioning and dubbing and low res and high res and encodes, it gets to be quite complicated.
And finally, since this is your first year having a booth here at NAB Show, what has the response been? Have people been coming by that are like, wow, this is cool, I didn't know you did this?
Yeah, I mean, of course. For the first time, people are walking in and just looking up and realizing, oh, Deluxe only... You really do that? You are the guys who are behind these special effects. You're behind the Titanic going 2D to 3D. You're the guys who deliver, Nook content. I mean, it's kind of quite a bit.
You're behind the Titanic 2D to 3D?
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, Stephen Weinstein, thank you so much for joining us
My
from
pleasure.
Deluxe Entertainment, and enjoy the rest of the show. Now, this year, there is a new feature at NAB Show called Sprocket. 10 market-ready startups were hand-selected for their potential in the marketplace. They're getting valuable exposure and one-on-one time with executives and professionals that can benefit from knowing about them. Now, one of those startups is Snappy TV. They let you share clips from live events as they are happening. The first time I saw this technology on a website, I was blown away. It makes sharing to your Twitter and Facebook so easily. Content can go viral in a way that's beneficial to your organization. Earlier today, here in the Studio Experience, sponsored by Intel, Steve Waskell sat down with the CTO of Snappy TV.
So, and if you aren't getting your content out, the minute that something key happens, you're missing this entire social conversation that will really kickstart your entire video viral process. You get more shares, more views if you tweet within the first minute versus if you tweet an hour later. It's really amazing in terms of how.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So Snappy TV lets you tweet and post your content to Facebook within seconds of it happening. We're a live cloud video editing platform. It's kind of editing for dummies. We're nowhere near these big editing installations that you see around here. We're just in, out, post, and maybe drag them into a timeline to make a highlight reel. But it turns out that that's actually kind of more the common use case, especially in sports, news, entertainment, live events, conferences like this. You're shooting, how many hours a day are you shooting? 8, 10?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
a lot.
And the post-production is just, segmented out, get it up to the website. That's kind of the driving factor, and we're just a faster, easier way to do that.
Yeah, it's so interesting because for so many years, the work that I've been doing has always been about the quality, cinematography, and does this shot look perfect? And it's actually the antithesis of that, right? It's just getting this little bit out there. But that's what people seem to want now.
Well,
right?
you're doing that quality right now. Like, you've got the lights, you've got the pan in it, and we're dealing with. We assume that the stuff that we get has already been kind of manicured and fine-tuned, and all we're doing is. People are using Final Cut for clipping, and that's like driving a Ferrari down the road. Like, Final Cut does so many things, and clipping is easy. So why are you using that tool for this? And so we're kind of more. You guys do a beautiful job producing it, and we just make this one thing easier. And it turns out that one thing is pretty valuable in terms of if you get it up fast. While people are at the show, 2 months later, nobody's going to watch this interview. But right now, today, people will watch it.
All right, Snappy TV, just one of 10 startups being shown off over there at Sprocket. Do yourself a favor, check them out. They're in the Central Hall, booth 1362. If you can't make it over there, definitely Google the companies that they are shown off there because they are all very interesting, and they're the ones to watch. That's why they're there. All right, I've been doing this convention center now many times. I've been to this convention center dozens of times between this show and others, and I think I'm finally getting the hang of it. You have North, Central, South, Lower South, Upper North, Gold Lot, Purple Lot, Monorail. This place is a city in itself. In fact, you can walk in one door and out the other, and the weather can be different on either end. Now, if there's anyone that knows how to navigate these show floor halls, it is Creative Cow's Ryan Salazar. Let's see what he was up to today.
Hey guys, it's Ryan Salazar here for Creative Cow. Boy, I've got a great day lined up. 2 interviews, one including a huge announcement that you're about to see. Let's take a look. How's it going, Vince?
I'm doing pretty good, Ryan.
Nice to talk with you again. Tell me about your announcement today.
Well, it's a big deal for us. It's a collaboration with Dolby and Philips with the Cameron Pace Group. And what we're doing, which is unique to the industry, is we're taking the content creation, the tools that work on the content creation side, and bridging the gap all the way to the display device, promoting glasses-free stereo, auto stereoscopic experience. We all are so used to the glasses. We're so used to 3D being a technology barrier. And I think today you're witnessing that disappearing, where you just walk up in front of a display, join with a friend, and you start commenting on the images and experiences.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Vince. It was excellent talking with you. We have have Mark Hamaker from Autodesk.
Hey Ryan, good to see you.
Good to see you. So since the launch of the product last year into beta mode for everyone, how's it been? A lot of feedback?
What I was blown away by is the feedback that we got, and one of the things you're going to see from us is you build better products when you listen to the people that are using them or that want to use them. So, you'll still see major releases, but we're hoping to also be able to iterate very quickly. We just released Smoke in December, so it's still a very new product, but we've actually had a couple of service pack updates to fix bugs, improve some performance and stability. So, we're pretty excited to get it out there, but also to be working with the community.
And Mark, I heard you were given an award last night for Smoke, right?
Yeah, well, I accepted the award from Studio Daily for Smoke, and it was a Best in Show award, and that's really satisfying because, the validation from the media, but from the people, and just the excitement that's going on here, it's fantastic. We're super happy.
Excellent. Well, it was excellent seeing you.
Great.
Have a great rest of your NAB. Wow, what a great day. Tomorrow we've got all sorts of stuff lined up, broadcast, post-production equipment, and we'll be talking to someone from the motion picture industry. There's a lot of great stuff for you to see here at NAB Show 2013. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 4:30. This is Ryan Salazar signing off.
Wow, that was some great coverage from Ryan, and I am still trying to figure out what that Shark Tank booth display is all about. I'm glad he included it in his piece. He's also a good guy to follow on Twitter, @Ryan Salazar. This is one of the biggest shows on TV, and at this year's NAB show, American Idol was inducted into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. Idol alum Chris Daughtry was on hand to help celebrate. I caught up with him after his live performance on stage to ask him about the power of this show and how it literally creates stars just like him.
Was worth it in the end.
Now I'm here with Chris Daughtry, who just performed on stage for American Idol's induction into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. How was it up there?
It was awesome, man. It was really good. These kind of situations are normally, it can be a little nerve-wracking because everybody gets really quiet and everybody's eating, and so you have to kind of liven it up a little bit.
And it's an industry crowd, so they sort of are.
Everybody's in suits but me,
Tell me about American Idol. How's life been since American Idol?
It's been one whirlwind after another. I mean, I've been on tour, it seems like, for the last 6 years, but obviously I get breaks at home, but it's been awesome. We're writing our 4th album now, which is crazy to even think about. It's been 6, almost 7 years since I was on that show, and it's just completely flown by, but I love every minute of it.
And what do you think about the NAB show?
It was great, and I'm honored to be here. Obviously, that American Idol was recognized and inducted. I thought that was really cool. Without that show, the world wouldn't have known who I was. I was playing in clubs for 10 years up to that point, so to be able to have that opportunity to get in front of millions of people, in one night, was an incredible experience.
Yeah, I mean, we hear about the internet and the impact it's had on people, but realistically, TV, broadcast, radio and television really does still make stars.
Absolutely, and I think you have to put the work in. I mean, you can't just go, I was on TV, I'm gonna be the next, Carrie Underwood or Chris Daughtry or whatever.
So I'm going home to the place where I belong, where your love has always been enough for me. I'm not running from, I think you got me all wrong, but don't regret this life I chose for you.
Take it from Chris. You got to turn your 15 minutes of fame into something much more. By the way, I'm just a little bit older than Chris, so I thought it would be interesting to ask him about the transition from buying albums like we did back in our day to the new way of single song downloads. And he told me he always buys full albums of his favorite bands, even if he only knows one big song from them. That's the way to support them. And a little Chris Daughtry trivia for you in case you're watching Jeopardy one day and it comes up. The first CD he ever bought was Live's Throwing Copper. That was one of my CDs as well. One of my first CDs as well. All right, now let's take a look ahead to Wednesday's show. Tomorrow is April 10th. That is the third day of the show floor being open. We are halfway through the exhibition days. The day is going to kick off with Broadcast Minds. Internet content creators are going to talk about what's next online. There are also lots of great super sessions, including how global leaders are driving metamorphosis, or metamorphosis, as they say here, workflows for mission-critical events, and how the canyons redefined the face of filmmaking. Also a very funny guy, Paul Feig will be speaking in the Creative Master Series. He's an actor, writer, producer, director, what is that, quadruple threat? He's also the man behind Freaks and Geeks and Bridesmaids. His series is called Entertaining by All Means Necessary, so definitely look that one up. All right, that's going to do it for today's live show. If you haven't already done so, definitely download the official NAB mobile show app. It is available for Android and iPhone. I've been using it all week. It makes searching for people, companies, sessions, and more so easy, you will feel like an NAB Show insider superstar. We're going to be right back here tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Pacific for another edition of NAB Show Live. Thanks to the studio experience sponsored by Intel for giving us our sweet digs today. I'm Rich DeMiro. Have a great night.